Hello and welcome. So here's a thought. What if the path to world peace doesn't actually start in the halls of power, but, right in our own living rooms? Today, we're diving into a really fascinating idea from the Baha'i teachings. This concept that a new vision for family life could be the very foundation for a united world.
So let's start with this powerful idea right here. It kind of sets the stage for everything else. What you're seeing is the suggestion that world unity isn't just some hopeful dream. It's an inevitable destination for all of us. But how we get there? Well, that's where things get really interesting.
When you look back, humanity's journey toward this unity has been, fitful is a really good word for it. Over the last century alone, we've had these moments where lasting peace felt like it was just within our grasp. Think about it. After World War I, we got the League of Nations. Then, from the ashes of World War II, we built the United Nations. And of course, when the Cold War ended, there was this huge surge of hope for a new kind of global cooperation. Each time, we reached for it, but each time, we fell just a little bit short.
And that brings us right to today. We're really standing at a crossroads, because even as that drive toward unity is chugging along, we're also up against these incredibly powerful forces of disintegration that are actively trying to pull our world apart.
It's like our world is being shaped by two totally opposite currents. On one side, you have these forces of disintegration pulling us apart, things like racism, intense nationalism, and this really deep mistrust in our institutions. But at the exact same time, there are these forces of integration that are drawing us together, this growing demand for justice for everyone, a real sense of solidarity, and the understanding that we have to collaborate to survive. We're basically caught in a tug-of-war between these two.
So, in a world that's being pulled in two directions like this, where do we possibly start to build a better future? It feels huge, right? Well, the answer proposed in these teachings is both incredibly simple and, honestly, pretty profound. We start with the family, the smallest, most fundamental unit of society.
And here we get to the core analogy for this entire vision. A family is a nation in miniature. The logic is really straightforward. If we want a peaceful world, we first have to figure out a peaceful model for family life. The principles that make a home harmonious, things like justice, cooperation, love, those are the exact same principles we need to create harmony between nations.
This new model of family all begins with a new way of thinking about marriage. It's not just a social contract. It's seen as a kind of spiritual fortress. It's a partnership where two people literally commit to helping each other grow spiritually, and then together, they work to contribute to building a better civilization.
Okay, this table breaks it down really well. When you look at marriage today, you can often see two extremes. On one side, you have practices that might separate key things, like love and long-term commitment. Then, on the other extreme, you have practices that distort the whole purpose of family to actually oppress its members. The Baha'i approach, as you can see here, it tries to find a balanced middle path. It's one that integrates everything, love, equality, fidelity, and raising kids, into one strong foundation for everyone's well-being.
And what's at the very heart of this entire model? The principle of equality between women and men. This isn't just seen as some nice social ideal. It's a practical requirement. For a family to really truly thrive, that equality has to be the cornerstone. Why? Because it directly shapes how children see the world, and it lays the groundwork for a more just society later on.
So the next logical question is, how does this transformed family actually impact the world outside its own four walls? This is where the vision starts to ripple outward, moving from the home right into the wider community. The home itself becomes a unique kind of social space. It's not just a private retreat you escape to. It becomes a center for positive change. A place where warm hospitality is just as important as having spiritual conversations and growing intellectually. It's a space where neighbors and friends are welcomed in to build community together. My home is the home of peace. Whosoever enters here must become illuminate. Just pause in that for a second. It's such a profound goal, right? To create a home that is a haven not just for the family inside it, but for every single person who walks through the door. A place of peace that then radiates outward and influences the entire community? Okay, so we've seen how this vision works at the family and community level. Now, let's zoom out. Let's connect those dots back to the ultimate blueprint for peace, the creation of a truly united world. Baha'i teachings frame all of human history as a process of social evolution, basically a series of ever-widening circles of unity. Think about it. It all started with the family. That then evolved into the broader solidarity of the tribe, which eventually gave way to the city-state and then later the sovereign nation. When you see it this way, world unity doesn't seem like some utopian fantasy. It feels like the next logical step in humanity's collective growing up.
And all of it, this entire evolution from the family to the nation and finally to a united world, it all hinges on one single pivotal principle, the unreserved acceptance of the oneness of humankind. That idea is the key that unlocks everything else. So, what's the biggest obstacle? It's something we see every single day, right? It's the crisis of identity that just plagues our modern world. The splintering of humanity into countless versions of us versus them, whether it's based on race, nation, religion, or ideology. That's what fragments our society and holds us all back. So how do we solve that us versus them problem? Well, it's not by trying to erase our differences. It's by reframing them completely. And that's the solution offered here. Our diversity is actually humanity's greatest strength. Our different cultures, our different perspectives, they don't contradict our oneness. They are the very things that give our human family its richness and its beauty.
Now I know, when you hear all of this, a new world order, the unification of humanity, it can feel enormous, maybe even a little overwhelming, right? Building a new world is a massive, massive task. So how does this grand blueprint actually translate into our daily lives?
And that question brings it all right back home, to us. In a world this complex, with problems this huge, where on earth do we even begin?
And the answer is that the work begins right where we are. Building world peace isn't some passive act of just waiting around for governments or big institutions to figure it out. It's a constructive process. It's something every single person can contribute to. It starts with our own actions, in our own relationships, by building these patterns of unity and justice in our families and in our communities. That is how the foundation for a peaceful world is truly laid.